We've all been there. Out and about, your phone hits 5%. Instantly, the screen dims and the battery icon turns red. To keep the device alive, your phone's operating system makes a strict choice. It stops fetching emails, pauses your background downloads, and shuts down anything that isn't absolutely critical. It sacrifices the extras to keep the core processor running for emergencies. Our own brains run a very similar survival program. When we push our bodies past their limits, we trigger a biological low-power mode. This happens when we combine intense physical exertion, like climbing a steep, rugged hill or running endless marathon miles, with a lack of caloric fuel. You are draining the battery faster than you can ever charge it. This level of physical stress triggers a safety mechanism where the brain hits a pause button on reproduction to ensure fundamental survival. Think of your brain as a strict factory manager. It has a limited daily energy budget, and its top priority is keeping your vital organs, like your heart and lungs, working smoothly. Preparing a mature egg and getting the body ready for pregnancy requires a massive amount of energy. In a state of physical exhaustion, reproduction is a biological luxury app your body simply cannot afford. So the brain responds. A region called the hypothalamus stops sending its hormonal Wi-Fi signals, specifically luteinizing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone, down to the ovaries. It cuts the connection. Doctors call this specific communication blackout Functional Hypothalamic Amenorrhea, or FHA. FHA is a medical condition where the absence of menstrual periods is caused by the brain suppressing reproductive hormones due to stress, weight loss, or excessive exercise. The ovaries remain functional. The suppression is a deliberate communication blackout initiated by the stressed brain to conserve power. Let's look at what happens down in the ovaries while the brain's Wi-Fi is turned off. There are thousands of tiny, early-stage eggs sitting there, waiting for those signals. Under normal conditions, a single primordial egg takes roughly 300 days to fully mature. You can think of this slow, complex growth process like a massive, high-resolution file download. But the moment the brain's signals drop, the download stalls. Without that hormonal Wi-Fi, these growing eggs are arrested in the intermediate stages of development. This creates a difficult situation at the doctor's office. If you get an ultrasound during this paused state, the doctor sees almost zero mature, visible eggs, leaving the ovarian reserve appearing depleted on screen. This document explains how a blood test for AMH, anti-Mullerian hormone, a protein produced by growing follicles that signals egg count, provides a low reading that masks the underlying reserve. It acts like a file not found error message. The primordial follicle pool remains stored and dormant, existing below the detection limit of these standard tests. A low egg count in FHA patients is an illusion of suppression. It misleads both doctors and patients into believing the egg reserve is permanently gone, when it is really just waiting for the signal to return. How do we resume those stalled downloads and turn the body's reproductive Wi-Fi back on? We reverse the energy deficit. By reducing extreme exercise, increasing nutritional fuel, or utilizing medical hormone stimulation, we successfully plug the body back in. Once those hormonal signals are restored, they hit the stalled eggs directly. This wakes them up, dissolving the biological brakes that kept them trapped in dormancy, and they begin growing again. This table shows direct clinical evidence of that awakening. When doctors administered just a single restored hormonal signal to patients, both women saw substantial increases in their visible follicle counts. The eggs were there all along. There is a catch, though, and that is time. Because these eggs were paused on a 300-day track, it takes several months of sustained signals to finally see a resumed cycle. Patience is biologically required here. Each consecutive month of rest or treatment primes eggs that are progressively further back in the pipeline, steadily rebuilding your active reserve. If intense fitness has paused your cycle, your body hasn't failed you. It protected your most precious reproductive assets, keeping them safe until you are ready to recharge.